a spiritual reflection on inner power, presence, and the true source of transformation. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Human life often appears to unfold along a timeline defined by memory and anticipation. We look behind us to understand where we have come from, and we look ahead to imagine where we are going. The past becomes a source of identity shaped by experiences, relationships, successes, failures, wounds, and triumphs. The future becomes a field of expectation filled with hopes, fears, plans, and uncertainties. In this constant movement between what has been and what might be, we often forget to attend to what is. Spiritually, the statement, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us," is not a dismissal of the past or a denial of the future. Rather, it is an invitation to recognize the primacy of inner awareness as the foundation of meaningful change. The past influences you, the future awaits you, but the present, specifically your inner state within it, defines how both are experienced. What lies behind you consists of memories, events that have already occurred and cannot be altered. These memories may include moments of joy or pain, achievements or regrets, love or loss. They contribute to your understanding of yourself, but they do not determine your essence. Spiritually, you are not identical to your experiences. You are the awareness that has witnessed them. Yet many people become entangled in their histories. They interpret past failures as evidence of permanent inadequacy. They carry unresolved grievances that shape current relationships. They replay moments of embarrassment or betrayal, as though repetition might somehow produce resolution. This entanglement becomes a burden. It narrows perception and limits possibility. It encourages self-definitions based on what has already occurred, definitions that may no longer be relevant to who you are becoming, but within you lies the capacity to reinterpret, to forgive, to release. Inner awareness allows you to observe your past without being confined by it. Through reflection, you may recognize that mistakes were opportunities for learning, that hardships fostered resilience, that losses clarified priorities. In this way, what lies behind you becomes less of a constraint and more of a teacher. Similarly, what lies before you, the future, can exert a powerful influence on your present state. Anticipation may generate excitement or anxiety. Plans may inspire motivation or create pressure. Uncertainty may evoke curiosity or fear. Because the future is inherently unknowable, it often becomes a canvas for projection. You imagine potential outcomes, both desirable and undesirable. You construct scenarios in which you succeed or fail, are accepted or rejected, flourish or struggle. These imagined futures can motivate preparation, but they can also provoke worry. Spiritually, the future exists only as a concept until it becomes the present. To live primarily in anticipation is to miss the immediacy of experience. It is to trade engagement for speculation. Yet within you lies the capacity for presence. Presence anchors attention in the unfolding moment. It allows you to respond to what is actually occurring rather than to what might occur. It reduces the influence of hypothetical fears and enhances your ability to engage authentically with reality. This engagement is empowering because while you cannot alter the past or fully predict the future, you can influence your response in the present, and your responses shape the trajectory of your life. Inner awareness is the medium through which response becomes conscious rather than automatic. Without awareness, reactions are driven by habit patterns learned through previous experience. You may respond to criticism with defensiveness because you have been hurt before. You may avoid opportunities because you fear repetition of past failure. But when you attend to what lies within your thoughts, emotions, intentions, you create space between stimulus and response. In that space, choice becomes possible. You may choose patience instead of anger, understanding instead of judgment, courage instead of avoidance. Each conscious choice subtly alters your path. It influences relationships, decisions, and outcomes. Thus, what lies within your capacity for awareness, reflection, compassion, and intention plays a more decisive role than external circumstances alone. External events may challenge or support you, but your interpretation of those events determines their impact. Two individuals may encounter the same difficulty, loss of employment, for example, but respond differently. One may interpret the event as a failure that confirms inadequacy. Another may view it as an opportunity to explore new directions. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in the internal framework through which it is perceived. Spiritually, this framework is shaped by practices that cultivate clarity. Meditation, contemplation, prayer, mindful movement, or ethical reflection are not merely rituals. They are methods of refining attention. They help you notice habitual patterns of thought and emotion. They encourage you to question assumptions and to align actions with values. Over time, such practices strengthen your inner resources. Resilience grows as you learn to remain present during discomfort. Compassion expands as you recognize shared vulnerability. Wisdom develops as you reflect on experience without rushing to judgment. These qualities influence how you meet both the remnants of the past and the uncertainties of the future. Inner strength does not eliminate challenge, but it changes your relationship to challenge. It allows you to encounter difficulty without being overwhelmed by it, to experience success without becoming defined by it. It fosters stability in the midst of change. This stability is particularly important because life is inherently dynamic. Circumstances evolve, relationships shift, aspirations transform. Attempts to secure permanence in external conditions often lead to frustration. But when stability arises from within, from clarity of purpose, acceptance of impermanence, and commitment to growth, you are less dependent on external predictability. You become adaptable. Adaptability enhances well-being. It allows you to navigate transitions without excessive resistance. It encourages learning from experience rather than clinging to expectation. What lies within also includes creativity, the ability to imagine alternatives, to envision solutions, to express meaning. Creativity is not limited to artistic endeavor. It is present in problem solving, in communication, in relationship building. It enables you to transform adversity into opportunity and routine into engagement. This transformation arises from perspective. Perspective is shaped by awareness, and awareness is cultivated through attention to the inner life. Thus, spirituality emphasizes practices that draw attention inward, not as an escape from the world, but as preparation for engagement with it. By understanding your motivations, biases, and values, you interact with others more authentically. You communicate more effectively. You pursue goals that resonate with your deeper aspirations, rather than with external pressure. This alignment reduces internal conflict. When actions reflect values, coherence emerges. You experience less tension between what you believe and what you do. Decisions become clearer. Relationships become more genuine. Inner coherence supports outer harmony. It influences how you contribute to communities, workplaces, and families. It encourages ethical behavior, not because it is enforced, but because it is valued. In this sense, what lies within extends beyond personal experience. It affects collective experience. Your responses shape interactions. Your attitudes influence environments. Your intentions guide initiatives. And so, while the past provides context and the future invites possibility, the inner dimension determines participation. Participation, in turn, shapes outcome. To attend to what lies within is to recognize that transformation begins not with circumstance, but with consciousness. It begins with noticing how you interpret events, how you regulate emotion, how you align intention. This noticing is ongoing. It evolves as you encounter new experiences and integrate new insights. It invites humility, the recognition that understanding is always partial and that growth remains possible. Humility supports learning. Learning enhances adaptability. Adaptability fosters resilience. Resilience sustains engagement, and engagement enriches life. Thus, what lies within awareness, intention, compassion, creativity exerts a profound influence on how you navigate what lies behind and what lies before. The past informs but does not imprison you. The future beckons but does not define you. The present, your inner state within it, empowers you. In attending to this inner state, you participate actively in your own becoming. And through this participation, the significance of inner life becomes clear. What lies within is not merely personal, it is foundational.